Alright, Alvarado here. I'm going to read a letter that I translated from Spanish recently. Um, One of my Venezuelan students introduced me to this letter, and he affirmed to me that indeed these points had been, these ideas, these um, policies had been implemented by Mr. Chavez. And what this is a letter that was written by Fidel Castro in 2007 to Hugo Chavez, which essentially outlines the takeover of a country. Now, one thing though that my students that I've taught have all had in consensus is the idea that everybody wanted something for free, and they got it. They got it all for free for a while. And I had students when I taught at Sam Houston, entire family of Venezuelans who fled from Venezuela. This was back in 2012. They were the first ones that I ran into. But now we're getting more and more Venezuelans. They're a lot different though. They have a stronger work ethic, it seems, at least the ones that have made it here. And they actually try to assimilate and learn the language and things like that. So a different attitude than other Hispanic students that I've taught. But anyways, that's the most common thread that the students share with me, is that it began with everybody wanting everything for free. Anyways, this letter was in Spanish. I tried to find it in English, and there was nothing. So let me go ahead and read my translation. Of course, it's as good as I can do it. I had some help, but still. So anyways, Havana, Cuba, 2007. Hugo, in order to end Yankee imperialism, we need to do things right. The Arabs are ready. Lulu is working in Brazil, and you've energized FARC. People are close to power. They are the majority and have little memory. Inject them with desperation and accuse the past and democracy of all evil. Keep yourself in permanent connection with your people. Identify with them. Your word is simple and suits them well because it has the flavor that is needed to get them excited. Take them into account. Learn to manage their ignorance. Your words must be ignited with authority and power. Don't worry about the rich and the middle class. They are not the 80% you need. The rich run away if you say, boo. Catholics love mention of the Bible or Christ. The Catholic majority in Venezuela do nothing but pray, something that will not take them anywhere without action. They are dumb. Take advantage of them while the church is sleeping. When they finally decide to move, you will be already in installation. Remember that the church is slippery. Keep accusing it. Without leaders, the Catholics are nothing. And if a little priest decides to act, and there are 2 or 3 that would like to, their superiors will round them up. If you see a priest in distress, buy him, call him out, earn him. If the Christian people rebel, that will be your last day. But it is not likely. The Jews in Venezuela do not count. The evangelists are poor, stupid ones. And in other religions, why even mention them? Use Christ mercilessly. Always mention his name. Remember, this gave me excellent results. Include flags and Simón Bolívar whenever you can. Create a new nationalism. Wake up hate. Divide Venezuela. That process always gives good dividends. They will eliminate one another. Violence will also help you get installed to power. Later, use force. But in the meantime, speak to them of democracy and the Constitution. Ask for money and fidelity, as long as objectives are accomplished. Once you achieve what you want, if any oppose or give you advice and contrary to your desires, get rid of them. Send them to embassies, buy their silence, or get them out of the country so the press is not able to use them. Make criminals by trickery out of those who oppose you, as this would disqualify them as any threat forever. By all means, keep majority in the assembly. Keep close to you, at minimum, the court of justice and prosecution. Buy the military with clothes and equipment. Place those in command close to temptation. Corrupt them to get fidelity. Place some of them in the oil industry in order to achieve military control. In the central garrison, you need to place your people in positions of power. Offer educational courses to remove the undecided from key posts. Once you've attained 200 to 300 high-ranking military leaders in command of the troops, you are indestructible. If you have doubts, test them in, for example, a simulated coup. All the traitors and unfaithful will expose themselves. It is necessary to control the state's means of production. Merchants love money, buy the bankers, give contracts and jobs to the big merchants and industries. All this so far for the first stage. For the second stage, you have to form defense of the revolution committees. Call them Bolivarianos. Have them do public service and join them for their gratitude. Pay them to follow guidelines, march, and assemble. From those committees, choose the most aggressive ones for the armed forces that you may need if things get difficult. Control the police. Destroy it. Put it to your use. In the second stage, you have to deepen the revolution's mission. You must mention the word revolution a lot, for it excites the poor. You have to also fracture the workers and businessmen unions that could oppose you. You must align the workers and the businessmen with your alignment. Attack the businessmen. Accuse them of the reasons for hunger. Call them fascists and accuse them of attempting a coup. Pretend to be weak. Man's mind's always focused on the weakest and the concept of justice. If you can't buy them, close all the media outlets, radio, press, and television. The profits from your oil industry fund your project. Create a revolutionary board of directors. Take out the technicians and do away with the so-called meritocracy. If you have everyone on board at this stage, you can now move on to stage 3. In the third stage, you can violate the Constitution because you are now unstoppable. Order robberies, plant guns, drugs, money on your enemies, if any remain. Accuse them of being spies or corrupt. Discredit them. Round up journalists, businessmen, workforce leaders. The rest will escape the country or will have learned their lesson and will cease to be a threat. Restructure the cabinet. Here you get rid of collaborators. Some you can reward and remove, others because there is no more opposition. You have to set up your comrades. Establish a state of exception. Cancel guarantees, set a curfew. Hurry, look how the people are turning to savages. Close all media outlets, dismiss the opposition's mayors and governors. Announce the restructuring of all aspects of the state and the writing of a new constitution. Form a council of government with 500 members, of which I would be a member. The opposition that will not learn and submit need to be shot. That is the only thing that will silence them, and it's cheap. Never let them get organized or know your intentions. We will be respected once again, us bearers of the banner of Leninism, Marxism. Brazil, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Cuba are all indestructible steps to this respect. If you do not have the nerve, I will gather up all my people to assist you. They could get killed assisting you. If you don't heed what I suggest, see what would happen? What are you waiting for, Hugo? Fidel, Castro. A lot of these sound like what's going on right now in the United States. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the letter. There's a link below to the article in Spanish, to the letter in Spanish. Something to learn, I guess. Something to remember. All these Democrats right now are running with the idea of giving away everything for free. Beware of free. As has been said, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Have a good day. Alvarado out.